Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and an update of our Monogram 64.5 Mustang Convertible kit. Got a bunch going on here over the past couple of days. Dropped another how to wire an engine video, not even sure how it's doing. But I had fun making the video nonetheless. As you can see, Tim called the whole crew in today, telling me he had free uniforms for him, and everybody showed up. We got Texaco shirts, we got the Texaco jumpers, both in brown and in blue. Even Lori got hers underneath her overalls. So we are really set. Even the Texaco station workers came in today. So we got a bunch of people in the crew. And since we did, Tim's got his sport and polo Texaco shirt. I bet you that one cost extra. But since everybody was here, we got a lot done. As you can see right off the rip, we got bare metal foil on that front window, and the front glass is sort of in. It's still drying right now. I got the decals on the sides. Looked really good. They were easy to put on. Nice decals. Good color on them and everything. I painted the interior of the engine bay, and like I told everybody, I used my accent real black with just the smallest amount of water in that. Oh, speaking of decals, I got something the other day that really helped get all these decals down without running back and forth to the sink. Let me pull that over here. First off, I'm using my Proud Navy Dad's cup. I had that now for a long time. I got a Mr. Coffee cup warmer. And I'm telling you, this little guy sure is nice. It was, I don't know, probably about 15 bucks. But not only will I use it to keep my water warm while I do my decals, but I'll keep my coffee warm on it too. I painted the battery semi-gloss black and did a little detail work on it. Again, decals are awesome. I got 3 coats now of Quick Shine on the body, and that's all we're going to need. The last one was over top of the decals to seal them in, and we will come back and we'll do a little real light polish job on that. I'm not looking for that wet look. I'm just looking to gloss it up just a bit. So there's the body. I have the glass drying on the roof. Not sure if I'm even going to use it, but I did. Like I said, the engine is coming along fantastically. I did that video on how to wire the engine, so if you want to check that out too, go ahead. That just popped this morning. Got the engine in place, got the suspension all done on here, and it fell together. Usually I run my fuel lines and all that stuff to the back. This has the brake lines already there for me, so I just figured we'll let the, oh, I knocked off my shock. We'll let the, show off the mold on it. And I'm all for that. If it's molded in there, I'm gonna show it off. I tipped the drops and put a little bit of black in the exhaust. Weathered my exhaust pipes just a little tiny bit. I also did some panel liner on the universal joints just to give them a little bit of life. Dropped the front end in. Again, it fell on. The back fell on. Obviously, the shock fell off, so I'll have to glue that back on. But I had a lot of fun. I took these wires and pushed them. You see they're pushed forward like that. Just before I get ready to put the body on, I'm going to pull these straight up in the air. And then once the body's in place, we'll cut these off to length and tie them in where they're supposed to go. But the exhaust lined up pretty good. I didn't have to do any flexi or anything like that. Just glued the tips together just so down the road they don't expand out. And like I said, this dropped right in. I am a fan of having the drive shaft attached to the differential because it's like the third car now in a row that I've done with that. And it's the third car in a row now that I've done where I haven't forgotten to add the differential till after both have been glued solid in. And that's just the way it is. Move on. I got my radiator built, ready to go. I cleaned that mold line off on there to where that looks like it's just one piece. So that always shows up to me. And like, hey, look at me, I forgot to do that. So I always try to do that. I also touched up my gas cap just a little bit. I had a little piece of black that was marked out of that. And this was the one that I did the red, white, and blue in for Bruce. But I could see that chrome shining through a little bit, so I touched that up. The interior, let me pop this out, because I kept looking at this steering wheel and saying, man, there's detail like crazy in there. So I painted the inside of that. Oh, gosh, I hope you can see that. I painted the inside of that around the pony black, and just to give it a little bit more life in the dash, because you're going to be able to see this. It is a convertible. So I spent a little extra time today, probably about a half an hour on that, just to get that painted in there. And what I did is, again, I used my craft paint. And because, you know, I can paint pretty decently, but I still make mistakes too. So I came in and I did that. I let that dry. And then I came back with my knife and scraped away the black that I got on the pony. I was able to do that a lot easier than brushing it. I did real good, but then there was a little bit, so I used the pointy knife that I had for that. This brand new blade, because I did the bare metal foil. This was kind of a challenge for the bare metal foil on here, just because of, there's a lot of foldovers and fold-arounds. So underneath, where you're not going to really be able to see it, but I wanted to have the coverage there, is where I had little gaps where the bare metal foil didn't quite make the fold or the wrap. This is quick shine, or Mod Podge that's still drying. That's why that tape's there. That's holding the glass in place. But I used just my silver Sharpie under there, and it hides it up. I mean, the glass is covering it up anyhow, and it's going to be where you almost have to look upside down at it to see it. So I figured that's good enough with that. But that bare metal foil laid down fairly decent for me. I'm happy with that. And that makes the visors really stand out now. So we're good there. The tires. Remember I said I was going to do the knockoffs on the tires. Well, I did the knockoffs, and I looked online, and there was red, white, and blue ring on those knockoffs. So I did my best to paint that. Here's a picture, because I don't know if the camera's going to be able to see that. But I did my best to paint that. I painted the center black, and I think that's supposed to say Mustang in there, but there's nothing there that says it. But then I did the red, white, and blue with just my Tamiya's acrylic, red, white, and blue. Paint one, let it dry, and then come back and paint the next one and let it dry, because if you don't, it'll bleed over on itself. So a little bit of patience, do one, come back, do a bunch of other stuff, come back and do that. The big thing today was decals. The decals all went down really, really nice. The only decal I got left to do on this is the one on the battery. Well, no, I'm sorry, two of them. I got the one on the battery, and I got the one on the air cleaner. So there is all of that. And geez, this is a quick update, but I really wanted to show everybody the homemade Texaco decals. I have a tanker truck that I want to do here pretty soon, and I'm going to have to make decals for that because I want it to be the Texaco tanker truck. And I also want to put that circle group build Grandpa Mark's Hobbies for the snap tight, because the snap tight was the semi that's going to be pulling that tanker. So I'll do a how-to on these. I've had a bunch of people ask me about that. I've also had a bunch of people ask me how I do my license plates. So that's all pretty much the same software. So once you learn the software, you know, it's just printing out the decals and then spraying them. I used Testers Clear on the decals, but it's basically, I use Microsoft Publisher to get these where I want them in the size I want, and I can measure everything out. And I'll do a video on that where I'll set the laptop down and do a record screen. So there's that. This should be my last update with this. I'll put everything together and I'll have a finish. But I wanted to do this last update before the finale, just so I could show some of the, like the tire rims and the underside here. I still have to paint this black. I forget it every time. Usually when I paint the interior here, I paint underneath that. And again, I forgot for like the umpteenth time. So I'm going to do that right after we close up here. And I'm going to go take a shower, and I'm going to go up and have a beer. Thank you all for all your subscriptions and your kind words and comments and thumbs up. Those really super help my channel. And with that, I'll let you go. Y'all have a great day, a better tomorrow. And since this is Sunday, have the best week ever. And I will see you soon. Thanks again for watching.